Cool. All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Gabrielle Hughes, and I'm Content Marketing Manager here at ProsperWorks. So today's session is going to focus on how to make you and your team more successful in the new year with automations. And this might get a little bit confusing here because our names are pretty similar, but along with myself, we're joined by Gabe Caldwell, who is the Vice President of Partnerships and Business Development at WebMerge. I'm going to say hi really quick, Gabe.
Hey, everyone.
Cool. And if you guys have questions throughout the webinar, you can submit them in the questions pane on your GoToWebinar control panel, or you can email info@prosperworks.com and the appropriate person will follow up with you. A recorded version of today's webinar will also be available after the broadcast. So to kick things off, let's just do a quick refresher for those of you that don't know what ProsperWorks is. We're a CRM that prides itself on being a system that teams actually enjoy using. And a lot of that is actually due to automation. We automate tasks and eliminate data entry. We provide visibility into analytics and team activity, and this has allowed a lot of different companies to build and streamline repeatable sales processes. And also a little bonus is we're built for, used, and recommended by Google, which is a pretty cool customer to have under our belt. And if you're a G Suite user, you pretty much know how to use ProsperWorks from the get-go. So Gabe, do you want to give a quick overview of WebMerge before we get going?
Absolutely. Thanks, Gabrielle. Hello, everyone, again. WebMerge is a document automation tool here in the cloud and helps customers to automate all their document creation process from ProsperWorks. This is everything from sales documents like a contract or a proposal, or could be things like an invoice, statement of work, event ticket, all can be customized, and a template can be built in WebMerge, and then it's integrated over to ProsperWorks, and at the click of a button or a stage change can automatically produce your documents and send those documents out where you'd like those to go, whether it's via email, getting an e-signature, storing it back in cloud storage. We have about 20 different delivery options on the back end. We're fully integrated with the G Suite as well, so uploading a document to Google Drive as a Google Doc, a Google Sheet, or Google Slide is fully capable with WebMerge and ProsperWorks. We also integrate with Team Drive as well. WebMerge does more than just merge data, pictures, logos, and videos. It also allows you to make your documents dynamic using conditional logic, loops, and then helping you to build dynamic charts and graphs as well.
Cool. So let's move into why you should care about automation. Gabe and I teamed up today just to show how automations can make your life a whole lot easier. And as you can probably guess, we'll be talking about document automation, which is something that is and always will be a fundamental technology for any business. Along with that, automations just allow you to streamline processes, which can save you money and time and make your team more productive. So diving deeper into why you should care, let's talk about money first. Your business and every other business out there needs revenue growth to succeed. And in order to grow, you can't be afraid of new technology that's out there. There are so many companies that we talk to here at ProsperWorks where they're just reluctant to upgrade to something new because they're afraid of paying more money or just trying something new. And you know, if you're using aging software, this usually results in higher operating costs throughout your entire company, and can even lead to excess inventory in your warehouse, and this just ultimately leads to a decrease in bottom line profits. So luckily there are tools out there with automations that can prevent all of this from happening, and we're going to get to that a little bit later on. But first, let's talk about productivity. And just like cutting operating costs, you need productivity to increase productivity from your team standpoint to keep growing. Once you start adding more and more people to your team, productivity becomes a bigger concern because you have more people to keep track of. And on the sales side of things, once you streamline processes with new technology, your team might actually want to work harder. Automation tools take out the manual labor that's associated with admin work, and so it leaves your team spending less time entering data. And with all of that extra time, they can do what they like doing best, which is selling, making more money. One of my favorite things about automation is that it makes the tools that your team is using something that you can all depend on. Automated systems allow you to centralize your tech stack so that all of your data is housed in one place. And because you are automating a bunch of different functions, you don't have to worry about anything going wrong. No one's manually entering data or entering the wrong thing in, or getting up to leave and finish a project later. That's when errors occur, and automation just completely eliminates everything that could go wrong from the picture if it's done right. Okay, so now we're going to move into the demo portion of the webinar, and Gabe is going to show how ProsperWorks and WebMerge work together, along with how to automate documents.
Great. Well, what we're looking at here is the interface here with inside WebMerge, and we're going to showcase today a use case of automating a contract from your ProsperWorks CRM. The first step that we'll need to do here is go into your WebMerge account, and we're going to need to set up the document template here. And I'll show this whole process here, and then we're going to integrate this over to your ProsperWorks account using a third-party integrator called Zapier. We'll showcase that process today, and then we'll last go into your ProsperWorks account and show you how to trigger the production of a document there from an opportunity that lives within your ProsperWorks account. So the first step will be to be able to come into your WebMerge account here, and we'll come to our Documents tab. We'll then need to come down to our blue New Document button, and we're going to create a new document here. We'll be able to name our document whatever we want. We'll call this Contract today. And then WebMerge is going to ask you, where do you want to build your document template? We've got three options here. Our first option is our build your own, which is just a WYSIWYG editor right here in the cloud in your WebMerge account. Has several different easy buttons here that's going to allow you to add functionality like table loops, conditional logic, inserting e-signature tags, and several other features here. It also gives you the ability to write your document in HTML in advanced mode as well. If you have a document template that's built in Adobe, or is it just a fillable PDF, you can save this to your computer. You're going to need to add merge fields into the properties of the fillable space, and then save it to your computer and then upload via our browse button here. Our software is going to detect those merge fields, pull those out, and then in Zapier, we'll connect those over to specific data fields within your ProsperWorks account. If your templates are built with any of the Office documents like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, you'll need to build your templates there with the merge fields in place, where you want to have data flow into the document, save to your computer, and then again, with the browse button here, upload your document template. WebMerge will again grab each one of those merge fields and allow you to map those over later in Zapier so we get the correct data from ProsperWorks that flows into the document template. If you come here today and you don't have great templates in place, or you're open to looking for new ones, if you're a startup business, we have a whole list of boilerplates for you to choose from here. You can choose one of these, open this up, and you can make changes from there. It just kind of gets the ball rolling there for you. Once you're finished, you'll just hit Create Document, and then you'll be brought over here to basically set up your settings of the document and the deliveries. You'll notice some gray workflow tabs up top here. This is a one-time setup. WebMerge is truly behind the scenes of ProsperWorks. So once we build all of this with each template, we connect it over to ProsperWorks. We're going to live within ProsperWorks and be able to click a button when we want to have a document created. We don't need to come back in WebMerge every single time, only if we need to edit the template or add a new template. Our first tab here is Overview, just going to give you some optics into each of our merges, so you can see how many merges you've had in the last 30 days, how many you've had all time, and then down here below is going to show the deliveries you've had for each one of your templates with a timestamp in place. So if you ever have a question if things are working or if data is received by WebMerge, you'll be able to see this here. Our next tab here is our document builder. This is one of the three options where we could have built our template. If you built the document template in Word or as a fillable PDF, it would just had a different tab up here. But to introduce our document builder, up top's our toolbar here. It's going to have all the formatting features of a Microsoft Word. We're going to build our template down here. We put a logo up top here. We're building a new client agreement. We're also going to need to put in our merge fields where we want to have data merged in from ProsperWorks. The syntax of our merge fields are pretty easy. It starts with a squiggly bracket and then a $sign. we name this whatever we'd like, and then we close it with this squiggly bracket. With WebMerge, we allow you to customize the merge field names. So this could have been company name. It very well could have been Big Bird or Cookie Monster. We really don't care. This is just going to be matched up to a specific data field over in ProsperWorks when we're in Zapier later, and I'll showcase that here in a minute. There's no limit to how many merge fields you can put in place, so you'll put these throughout the document wherever you'd like, and data will be merged into the exact spot into the document. Another neat thing that WebMerge can do here is add conditional logic into your document. If you want a section of text to only show up depending on a certain situation for a contract, you can add a little conditional statement, which is what I've done here, which just says when the data is received from ProsperWorks, if the value for state equals this value here, which just happens to be California, then we're going to showcase this text that's highlighted. If it's not California, this will be deleted. Signing the contract will be brought back up here. This if statement starts, and it'll be like it never existed. A lot of our clients worldwide are using this throughout their documents several times, so that the decisions are made behind the scenes with software and not on the sales team to decide what content goes here or there throughout the document each time. This makes things more efficient, saves even more time, and decreases mistakes. In our example today, one of the delivery methods we're going to showcase is how to get an e-signature with DocuSign. Now, with WebMerge, we integrate with 8 of the top e-signature companies on the market today, one of which just happens to be DocuSign. When we want to do this, we're going to need to put a little e-signature tag in place, and the tag for DocuSign is /s1/. You can easily put this in place if you're building your template here in the document builder. We have an easy button called Insert here. We can put merge fields in easily. We can put conditional statements like I just showed you, loops, including e-signature tags. We'll just click Tag. We'll choose the provider that we like. You can see some of the other services that we integrate with. And we can choose if we want a signature, initial, or date. And then we'll just hit Insert Tag, and that'll put our tag right in place where we want to have the signer one sign. If you're needing multiple signers, 2, 3, or even more, you'll use the same tag, just copy it and change the number to 2 and 3 and 4 and respectively. Once we're happy with our template here, we're just going to click Save Document, and then we'll move along over here to Settings. This is where we're going to tell WebMerge what type of output do we like, what type of document do we want to produce. And no matter where you build your template, we can output these options here. So we can output a PDF document for you, which is probably most popular. We can produce a Word document, Excel, HTML, email, JPEG. We can even output a PowerPoint presentation if you need a presentation. All of these can be uploaded to Google Drive and opened up as a Google Doc, a Google Sheet, or a Google Slide as well. You'll then customize your page size. We serve a lot of different industries, so we have different options here, including a custom size, as well as portrait or landscape option. Then you get the ability to name the file. So down here, we've named the template new to client contract, but each document needs to have a different name. So what we like to do here is in this drop down, you're going to have a whole list of the merge fields, anything you put between squiggly brackets in your specific template here, regurgitated here for you in a list. You can use one or multiple of these data fields to name your document each time. So as I've done in this example, each time I create a document from ProsperWorks, I'll pull in the organization name as well as the opportunity name, and that's what the document is going to be named as when it's stored. Lastly, down here is status. With WebMerge, we give you free and unlimited testing here. So our trial period does not expire. We believe you should have all the time to try out our tool and see the power of WebMerge. So feel free to set up an account today, put things in test mode. You can connect over to ProsperWorks, generate documents, make sure it's going to be a good fit. We do put a sample watermark on each document and a header that says test document, but you'll get to see the data get merged in the correct spot. Does it look nice? Did it happen in real time before you make a decision? And then when you want the watermark to go away, just switch things over to active and upgrade your account. So we'll save settings, and then we'll come over to deliver. This is where we're going to set up where's the document need to go. So WebMerge is going to create the document, and then where do we need to send it out? As you can see, we have about 20 different delivery methods here, and they're broken down by category here. So we can save them back in your CRM. We can save it in doc storage here. Some of our popular ones are AWS, Box, Dropbox, Google Drive, SharePoint. You'll need to have an account. You'll give us one-time authentication with username and password, and then you'll choose the folder that you want to save the documents, and then they'll automatically be stored and organized there right within your account. I mentioned e-signature. We integrate with 8 different of the top services here. You'll have to have an account, and then we'll connect with a username and password. We connect to the e-signature tag by pulling in the signer's name and email address, and then WebMerge will facilitate an email that goes out to all the signers that basically invites them in with a link to review and sign the contract. Case mail and log are great solutions if you need to hard mail documents. WebMerge basically sends the document over with mailing credentials, and they're going to print stuff in an envelope, stamp, address, place it in the mail, and your clients will receive these documents in the hard mail there. These are very popular with the legal industry as well as the healthcare here in the United States, being that's still a need there. And lastly here, if we just need to simply email the document out, which is probably our most popular delivery method, a lot of customizations here as far as who it's going to, who it's coming from, using merge data from ProsperWorks to put in the subject and the body of the email. You can CC, BCC, delay delivery. You should be able to take care of all of your needs here. WebMerge also has an open webhook. We have an open API as well. Our vision for business in the future is that we never want to be a bottleneck for our customers. So really any place you want this document to go, we can always get it out with our webhook here. FTP is also an option here. And then we lastly integrate with Google Cloud Print, which is just going to give you the ability to automatically have your documents printed to any printer on the planet that has Wi-Fi. And just to show you how we set up the integration here for DocuSign and Google Drive, in today's example, we'll create this contract automatically with ProsperWorks, and then we want to have it e-signed in DocuSign, and we want to store it in our Google Drive account. So I'll show you how we set this up. I mentioned before, we just connect our account with a username and password, like I've done here already. And then we're going to facilitate an email that goes out, so you can customize this subject that goes in that email. And the email is just going to say, hey, John just sent you a contract. Here's a link to review and sign the contract. The e-signature tag is connected to the person's name and email address that's pulled in from ProsperWorks. So from this drop down, you're going to have all your merge fields that you put within your template. If you have one for name, great, you'll select it. If not, you'll click other, and then you'll be able to type in name here, and that will allow you to connect it over to Zapier at a later time. Same with email. If you've already put a merge field in your document template as email, it'll be here in the list. If not, click other and type in email, and then we'll connect that to ProsperWorks in Zapier. And then we'll list them as a signer, agent, CC, or other options below. If you need a second signer, just hit the plus button here, and you'll add the second signer, same thing as before, name, email, and then list them appropriately there. The last thing we want to do here, which is a pretty cool option, is we have the ability to delay delivery. So we would definitely want to store our contracts, but it's more important to store our contracts with signatures already on them in our Google Drive account. So what we can do with DocuSign is we can delay other deliveries. So in this case, we're going to get a document signed with DocuSign, and we're going to delay the delivery over to our Google Drive account until we receive the signed contract back. What happens is when the contract gets signed in DocuSign, it's sent back through the API to WebMerge, and then WebMerge sends it to your delivery method, one of which is Google Drive here. So when you go to Google Drive, you're only going to have stored signed contracts there, and you're not chasing paperwork at a later time. So you'll save delivery there. And as far as Google Drive here, just to set this up, we've pulled in our folders by connecting our account. So I'm going to save things in my new client contracts ProsperWorks folder, and then I can give it a description, and then we'll save delivery. The last step here is to go over into Zapier and build the bridge between your ProsperWorks account and WebMerge. So we'll come over here. If you don't have a Zapier account set up, it's very easy to do. A two-way Zap like this can be free up to so many merges, and it's very cost-effective past that. What you'll want to do is follow the process. You'll say choose a new Zap, and then you're going to come in here to the first step, which is search for those apps. We'll type in ProsperWorks. Then it's going to ask you which trigger point do you want to generate a document in ProsperWorks. This just means what's going to happen in ProsperWorks that's going to cause a document to be produced behind the scenes with WebMerge. We have several different options here to choose from, so you can look through these and see what will be the best fit for your situation. The most popular trigger point within ProsperWorks for our customer base is updated opportunity stage. Triggers when an opportunity stage is changed. So you're able to create an opportunity stage within ProsperWorks. Looks like sending a contract. I'll take a peek at this real quick over in my ProsperWorks account. We've created a custom stage here in our pipeline that says contract sent, and we can just drag this over here and drop. And when that happens, that will trigger the production of a document. So that's what we're building to give you a little visual. So once we make that selection, we'll say continue. Then we'll connect our ProsperWorks account. We can hit test to make sure it's connected. Great. And then we'll move on to the next step. We're going to put a little filter in this example in place because we want to make sure that we only generate a document if a certain stage name it says contract sent. So we'll put the filter in. We'll choose filter here. We'll choose only continue if, and we'll set up a rule to specify when the Zap can continue to run. So we'll choose that, which is our only option. Then we're going to say only continue if what happens. We'll hit this drop down arrow. What this is going to do, Zapier is going to pull in all the information accessible within ProsperWorks. And we're going to choose pipeline stage name. And what we're looking at are these pipeline stage names here: follow-up, presentation, more importantly, contract sent. Then we'll choose what we want this to say, text exactly, or contains, or several other options. In this case, we want it to be exactly what this says, and we'll type in our value, which in this case is going to be contract sent, and this can be customized for you. If you have a different name of your stage there, that's fine. And we can always add more rules in by saying and, or adding an or rule here as well, and then hit continue. This is going to set up our filter there, so everything's going to work just fine. Then we'll come down to our action, which is where we're going to choose WebMerge. It'll ask us, do we want to create a data route or a document? In this case, we're going to create a document. Data route will have to cover in a different webinar, but it gives you the ability to populate multiple documents from one trigger point within ProsperWorks. We'll hit continue. We'll connect our specific WebMerge account here, test this to make sure it's communicating. And then our last step will be to match up our data fields here within Zapier. So we're going to select our new client contract here. This drop down is going to access all of our documents right here within our WebMerge account. It'll pull it into Zapier so we can choose whichever one we want. When you're just getting started, it won't be as big of a list as this. We have the ability to download the file immediately so that when we do generate a document in ProsperWorks, if we want to download that to our computer, we can, or we can just leave that off. And then below here, you're going to see a list of your merge field. These should look familiar to you. You're going to see date, time, organization, state. You'll see a little WebMerge logo next to it. These are all the little merge fields that were in the squiggly brackets in your document template. What we're going to do is this little drop down to the right over here at the plus button is going to be insert a field. This is going to pull in all of your information available within your ProsperWorks account as well as filter, but we're going to choose ProsperWorks here. And then we're going to find the correct data that we want to put within the within this merge field. So we'll scroll down here and we'll take a look. We're looking for company name. We find it here. We'll add it to the list. You can see this added it twice since I already had it in place. But you get the idea. We're going to put this information so that when a document's triggered, the company name will flow into this merge field within the template. We're going to do that for each of our merge fields here. So state will match up with state, name with primary contact full name, and so on down the list. Once we have all this mapped, this is a one-time setup, then we'll hit continue, and everything is working just fine here. So we'll hit finish, and then we'll turn our Zap on here. Now that this is live, everything is ready to go, and we can go back over into our ProsperWorks account and do a test and make sure this is working. So all we would do is we take an opportunity that we have here, we drag this over into our stage of contract sent, and that's triggering the production of the document. Data is being sent behind the scenes over to WebMerge. WebMerge is producing the document, and then it's sending it out by our different delivery methods. You can see that I just received an email here from DocuSign. This is what WebMerge facilitates. Has the person's name here in place, asking them to sign your contract, pulling in their information here. We're just going to review the document. We'll see that we pulled in today's date, pulled in the company's name, dollar amount per hour, and a few other pieces here. When we're ready to sign, we'll just hit start, be brought down to our signing place where we put our tag in place. John Lee's going to sign. We're going to hit finish, and our document has been signed. And what's happening now is we just received a copy of the signed contract via email. Starting over. And at this point, we'll receive an email with a signed contract, and we're also going to see that we have this saved. Starting over. When we finish this, we're going to be receiving an email of the signed contract, and our signed contract is then going to be stored in our Google Drive account, which we can see right here. It was stored automatically. We have today's date, the company name, as well as the signature here at the bottom. And that's exactly how you're going to set up your document template. That is a one-time setup, and then that flows in place. So as your team goes into create documents in the future, they're just going to drag and drop. The document gets created, it gets signed, it gets stored in your Google Drive account, all at the click of a button there, and saving you time, saving you money. So Gabrielle, that's ultimately how we set up that integration.
Awesome. That was great. Thanks so much, Gabe. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and submit them in the questions pane of your GoToWebinar control panel, or you can email info@prosperworks.com. And Gabe, is there an email address people can use to send you any questions?
Absolutely. Yeah, they can email us at our support team at support@webmerge.me, or you're welcome to email me directly just at gabe@webmerge.me.
Cool. Great. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, Gabe.
Thank you.
Bye.